Elizabeth Montgomery wasn't just the magical star of Bewitched. She was also the emotional center of the entire cast. For 8 seasons, Montgomery worked closely with dozens of actors, directors, and comedians while helping turn Bewitched into one of the most beloved sitcoms in television history. But while many co-stars came and went throughout the series, there were only a handful of performers who reportedly became especially close to her. Some made her laugh constantly behind the scenes. Others deeply impressed her with their talent, and a few remained lifelong friends long after the cameras stopped rolling. According to interviews, cast stories, and people who worked on the show, these were the 5 actors Elizabeth Montgomery reportedly admired the most during her years on Bewitched. One of the actors Elizabeth Montgomery clearly adored was Agnes Moorehead, the legendary actress who played Samantha Stevens' dramatic mother, Endora. On screen, Endora constantly tormented Darren and created chaos for Samantha's suburban life. But behind the scenes, Montgomery reportedly had enormous respect for Moorehead's talent and professionalism. By the time Bewitched began filming, Agnes Moorehead was already considered one of the most respected actresses in Hollywood. She had worked in radio, film, theater, and television for decades and brought a level of acting experience that impressed the entire cast. Elizabeth reportedly admired how Moorehead could completely dominate a scene with just a facial expression or line delivery. Even during long filming days, Moorehead remained intensely committed to her performance. Despite her strong personality and perfectionist tendencies, Montgomery reportedly loved working with her because she elevated every scene they shared together. Many fans still consider the Samantha and Dora relationship the true heart of Bewitched, and much of that chemistry came from the genuine respect the 2 actresses had for each other off camera. Another actor Montgomery reportedly cared deeply about was Dick York, the original Darren Stevens. For many longtime fans, York remains the definitive Darren because of the nervous energy, comedic timing, and emotional realism he brought to the role. But what viewers didn't fully realize at the time was how much physical pain York was secretly enduring during the production of the show. Elizabeth Montgomery reportedly became extremely protective of him behind the scenes after realizing how serious his back injury truly was. York often worked while suffering from severe pain caused by a spinal injury he had sustained years earlier during a film shoot. Despite the agony, he continued performing for years to keep the show running. Montgomery reportedly admired not only his talent, but also his determination and kindness. Their chemistry on screen felt believable because the 2 actors genuinely trusted and respected each other. When York eventually collapsed from pain and left the series permanently, many people connected to the production said Montgomery was devastated. Even years later, fans noticed how warmly she continued speaking about him in interviews. Of course, one of Elizabeth Montgomery's closest relationships on the show was with Paul Lynde, who played the mischievous Uncle Arthur. Every time Lynde appeared on screen, the energy of the show changed completely. His sarcastic humor, exaggerated expressions, and quick one-liners instantly made him a fan favorite. But behind the scenes, his bond with Montgomery reportedly went far beyond simple co-star friendship. Elizabeth adored Lynde's sense of humor and reportedly loved how effortlessly he could make the cast laugh during stressful filming days. While Lynde often struggled privately with personal issues and the pressures of hiding his sexuality during that era of Hollywood, Montgomery remained one of the people who genuinely accepted him without judgment. Their friendship reportedly became especially meaningful because both of them felt frustrated by many of Hollywood's expectations and limitations at the time. Years later, after Lynde's death, Montgomery continued speaking warmly about him, making it clear that he had been one of her favorite people from the entire series. Another actress, Elizabeth Montgomery, reportedly became very close to was Erin Murphy, who played Samantha and Darren's daughter, Tabitha Stevens. Since Murphy joined the show as a child, Montgomery naturally developed a protective and affectionate bond with her behind the scenes. Unlike many child actors who struggled under Hollywood pressure, Erin Murphy reportedly felt safe and supported around Montgomery, who treated her with genuine kindness both on and off camera. Cast members often describe Elizabeth as patient and nurturing toward the younger actors, and Murphy later spoke warmly about her experiences working with Montgomery during the series. As Tabitha became more central to the storyline in later seasons, the chemistry between the two made their on-screen mother-daughter relationship feel incredibly believable. Montgomery reportedly enjoyed how naturally Murphy performed despite her young age and loved the warmth she brought to the show. Even decades later, Erin Murphy continued speaking fondly about Elizabeth Montgomery, describing her as caring, intelligent, and far more down-to-earth than many people expected from such a major television star. The final actor often mentioned among Montgomery's favorites was Dick Sargent, the second actor to play Darren Stevens after Dick York's departure. Replacing such a beloved actor was an incredibly difficult task, and Sargent entered the series under enormous pressure from both the studio and audiences. Many fans immediately compared him to York, creating a challenging atmosphere from the beginning. But despite the controversy surrounding the recasting, Montgomery reportedly treated Sargent with warmth and kindness from the start. She understood the impossible position he had been placed in and tried to help him feel comfortable on set. Over time, the two developed a close friendship that extended beyond the series itself. Years later, Montgomery became one of the first major Hollywood stars to publicly support Sargent after he came out as gay. Their friendship reflected the loyalty and compassion Montgomery was known for throughout her life. Even though fans still debate which Darren was better, there's little doubt that Elizabeth Montgomery genuinely cared for both actors who shared the role. What makes these relationships so interesting is that they reveal a very different side of Elizabeth Montgomery than the polished television image audiences saw every week. While Samantha Stevens seemed cheerful and perfect on screen, Montgomery herself valued loyalty, humor, emotional honesty, and professionalism far more than fame or Hollywood glamour. The people she reportedly loved most from Bewitched weren't necessarily the biggest stars. They were the actors who made difficult days easier, who brought authenticity to the set, and who treated others with kindness behind the cameras. And perhaps that's one reason Bewitched still feels special decades later. Beneath the magic effects and sitcom comedy was a cast filled with genuine chemistry and real emotional connections. Elizabeth Montgomery may have been the star, but the people around her helped create the warmth and charm that made the series unforgettable. If you enjoyed this look behind the scenes of Bewitched and classic Hollywood legends like Elizabeth Montgomery, make sure to subscribe to the channel. We post brand new stories every week covering old Hollywood secrets, celebrity feuds, tragic endings, and the hidden truths behind your favorite stars.